Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Power System Operations and Control. In the last lecture we have discussed about active, reactive and apparent power. Now in this lecture we will discuss on representation of power system components, and at the end we will discuss about per unit representation technique. So let's start with the representation of power system components. A balanced three-phase network is generally solved as a single phase or per phase equivalent circuit. The three-phase network is converted onto the single phase or per phase basis to have a convenience in the analysis of the entire complicated or complex power system. A power system is represented by one of the three phase and the neutral, which is a single phase circuit or per phase circuit. The components such as generators, transformers, and loads are indicated by standard symbols. So in the power system 2, we have discussed about all these aspects of representation techniques. So once again, we are taking the overview of all these things. So in that, we have seen about the standard symbols for different components or elements of the power system. For example, most of the times we have referred generators, transformers, transmission lines, load, etc. The diagram is further simplified by omitting the neutral wire. Such a simplified diagram of an electrical system is called a single line or one line diagram of the power system. Detailed significant information about the system parameters is also included in the single line diagram. Means a lot of information we are getting from the single line diagram about the power system. If you have the synchronous generator in the single line diagram, the indications of the synchronous generator, that is its rating, its generation voltage, as well its reactance value is given in the single line diagram. As far as transformer is concerned, the type of connection of primary and secondary side, the rating of transformer, voltage ratio, as well the reactance of the transformer is given in the diagram itself. About the circuit breaker, its detail and the type of the circuit breaker is mentioned on the single line diagram. The transmission line, its reactance is given, the size of conductor, configuration of three phase above the ground, and the length of the transmission line is given in the single line diagram of the power system. As far as load bus is concerned, active and reactive power demand is indicated in the single line diagram. The information to be provided on the single line diagram depends on the type of analysis is to be undertaken. Means for what purpose the single line diagram or one line diagram of the power system is been used. So if it is used for the load flow analysis, then power generation, load demand, line and transformer data is given in the single line diagram. If it is used for the transient stability studies, then additional details about machine parameters, location of circuit breakers and relays, speed of relays and circuit breakers are also required. So if it is used for the transient stability studies, so the machine parameter ratings, additional details are given in the diagram, as well the location of circuit breakers and relays are also indicated in the single line diagram. For above computation, single line diagram is first drawn. The per phase equivalent circuit for various electrical components are used to form impedance diagram of the system. So as we have seen in the power system 2, which is the prerequisite course of power system operation and control, that we have different techniques, that is representation techniques of power system to have a convenient in the analysis of the system. So one method is single line diagram or one line diagram. Another method is impedance diagram, and one more method is impedance diagram. So we have seen all these three methods, single line diagram, impedance diagram, and the reactance diagram in the prerequisite course, which is a power system 2. So this is a typical single line diagram of a power system. which consist the generator part. Then these are the circuit breakers which are connected for the protection of the circuit breaker. Then this is the generator bus. Then the circuit breaker, the transformer, as it is connected in the generator bus, it is most of the time it is a step up transformer. Then once again, for the protection of breaker, the another side of transformer, the circuit breaker is connected. Then transmission line for step down purpose transformer, one more transformer. Then for the distribution of power, it is rested on to the infinite bus. And then uh, now in this, actually, we have generator 2 and generator 3, which are also feeding power to the bus or to the system, entire system. So in this system, we have generator 1, generator 2, and generator 3, three generators, which are connected through system buses and which are supplying to the load, which is connected to the bus number 3. So this is a sort of example of single line diagram of typical power system. Let's move further. Now, in the single line diagram, impedance diagram as well, in the reactance diagram, we have used many quantities, and different quantities are having their own units. If you take into the consideration of reactance, it is expressed in terms of ohms. If you take into the consideration voltage, current, they're having their own units. Power, it is having its own unit. So if you analyze the system onto a common platform, that is, if we have an entire system on a common platform, it needs us to have a common base of the system. So that's why, to have a convenience in the analysis, we have a per unit representation technique of the power system components, especially per unit, that is pu value of any quantity is given by its actual value of the quantity divided by base or reference value in the same unit. In the power system, the quantities involved like kVA, Ka, ohms, their operation leads to very large figures and it is very difficult to handle. Means if we take into the consideration of very large power system, large or many elements or components are involved in that system, and to analyze or to have it onto the paper for the analysis purpose, it is very complicated to deal with the different elements which are having different sort of units for their operations. In the equivalent circuit, different sections are at different voltages which are interconnected by the transformers. So again, it is very difficult to have to analyze different sections which are having different voltage levels. So in power system analysis, voltage, currents, kVA, and the impedances or reactances are expressed in the per unit, that is pu, as we have discussed earlier, of the base value. So if we have a common base amongst all the quantities which are in sort of voltages, currents, kVA, impedances or reactances in terms of ohms, so it is very convenient to have all the values or all the quantities on the common base, and then it is much convenient for the analysis of the power system. Let's see the advantages and drawbacks of the per unit representation of the power system components. So let's see first the advantages. So as we have discussed, the calculations are a bit simplified and it is convenient for the analysis purpose. Then the parameters tends to fall in a relatively narrow range, making the error conspicuous. So as we are converting it onto a per unit value, or say in the percent value. So its value becomes very small as compared to its original value. So it is very uh, uh, much easy to reduce the errors in the calculations. So by choosing the suitable base KVs for the primary and the secondary circuit of the transformer, the per unit reactance remains the same for the both side. As already we have seen this and we have calculated the per unit reactances based on the primary circuit or based on the secondary circuit. So it will be also, with the help of this technique, it will be also have a convenient for the analysis purpose. Now let's see the drawbacks of the per unit representation of the power system components. So some equations that were true earlier getting modified in the per unit schemes. Factor root 3 and 3 are added or removed. As well, the equivalent circuit becomes somewhat abstract. So by considering the advantages uh, the we can leave it or we can ignore the drawbacks, because it is not going to matter much for the analysis, or it is not going to impact onto the accuracy of the results that we are getting from the analysis of per unit representation technique of the power system. So let's see how to convert or how to have the per unit values from the actual values of the power system components. So base values of variables are chosen so as to satisfy the same kind of relationship as the actual variables. Relation between the complex voltage, that is V, complex current I, and complex impedance Z is V is equals to I into Z, as all we know. Equation for the base quantities is V base is equals to I base into Z base. So V base is the base voltage quantity. Again, I base is the base current quantity and Z base is the Z base quantity. Dividing 1 by 2, equation 1 is for the voltage, which is the actual value, and equation 2 is for the base value. So if you divide 1 by 2, we will get the per unit value, that is actual value divided by the base value. So voltage per unit is equals to Z per unit into I per unit. um, for this per unit representation, it needs us to have or to select a base values for the system as well as different sections in the system. So one common base volt ampere is used for all parts of the system. So one kVA, MVA or VA has been selected for all parts of the power system. One base voltage is arbitrarily selected as a base voltage in one section of the system, and depending on that, we can able to calculate the voltages in different sections of the power system. Base values of the system are so chosen that per unit volt and current of the system are approximately unity. So while choosing base values, this care needs to be taken. Base value of kVA is selected as the rating of the largest unit. It is more convenient to have or to select a value, base value of kVA, which is equal to the kVA rating of the component which is there in the system, and which is that should be the largest value amongst all the components in the entire system which we are going to analyze. For transformers, the base voltages is changed in the proportion to its transformation ratio. So as I said, if you select base value of the voltage in one section of the power system, so depending on the transformation ratio, it will get changed if we want to calculate or if we want to analyze the base value of the another section, and it is entirely dependent on the transformation ratio of the transformer which is connected in between different sections of the power system. So the selection of base quantities, that is selection of base value of kVA and selection of base value of voltage, these are the very important steps in the per unit representation of the power system components. Let's move towards some mathematical expressions. So for the base current, IB is equals to base kVA divided by base kV. Then base impedance ZB is equals to kV base square divided by MVA base, which we will get in terms of ohms. Then the base active power MVA in terms of MW, base reactive power MVAR. The three-phase system, instead of phase value, line to line voltage and total kV output of the three phases are used. The base current IB is equals to kVA base divided by root 3 into kV base in terms of amperes. About the per unit impedance, Z per unit is equals to Z ohms divided by Z base, which already we have calculated in the previous slide. If you have already some values in terms of its base or in terms of per unit values or percent values, to analyze the entire system, it needs us to change the base of those components, or it needs us to calculate a new per unit values for those components. The formula is Z per unit new is equals to Z per unit old into kVA base new divided by kVA base old multiplied by kV base old square divided by kV base new square. So these are the some of the calculations which requires us for the per unit representation of the power system components. Let's see one example of per unit representation of power system components. Consider a single line diagram of the system as shown in the figure number 1. The system is consisting 3 generators and 3 transformers. The details of the components, that is generators, transformers and transmission line, is as given. Generator 1 is having a rating of 20 MVA, 11 kV and its reactance is 25%. Generator 2 is having a rating of 30 MVA, 18 kV and its reactance is 25%. Generator 3 is having a rating of 30 MVA, 20 kV and its reactance is 21%. Transformer T1 is having a power rating of 25 MVA. Its voltage on the primary and the secondary side is 220 kV by 13.8 kV, and the connection on primary and secondary is delta and star or Y. Its reactance is 15%. Transformer T2 is a 3 single phase units, each rated 10 MVA. Its rating is voltage rating rather 127 by 18 kV. Its connection or type of connection is Y delta and its reactance is 15%. Transformer T3 is having a power rating of 15 MVA, 220 by 20 kV, Y delta and its reactance is 15%. Draw the reactance diagram using base of 50 MVA and 11 kV on the generator 1. So before to start the per unit calculations or to draw the reactance diagram, first of all it needs us to select MVA rating and the kV rating of the entire system. So as far as MVA rating is concerned, as already we have seen in the previous slides, that we will consider either the maximum from the available or entirely more than that. So here in this diagram or for this particular system, we are considering 50 MVA as it is given in the problem statement itself and 11 kV on the generator 1. Let's proceed for the calculations, that is solution part. So base MVA is 50 MVA and base kVA is 11 kV, which is a new onto the generator side. The formula for the calculation is the new per unit reactance, that is change in the base, X is equals to X per unit old, because the values of the reactances are given in the percentage, means they do have their own base. So that's why we will consider that they already have a base, and now for the system we are taking a new base values, that is 50 MVA and 11 kV on the generator side in terms of voltage. So therefore we are going to change its base, that is on to the new base we are considering the system. Therefore it needs us to calculate these values onto the new base. Therefore for that we will refer this particular formula: X per unit new is equals to X per unit old into kV old divided by kV new square into MVA new divided by MVA old. The reactance of the generator G, that is kV base old, is 11 kV. Then kV base new is already we have selected as 11 kV onto the generator side. Then MVA old is equals to 20 MVA, MVA new is equals to 50 MVA, which is given in the problem statement itself. So all values we have, and X per unit old for the generator is 0.25 per unit. So therefore with the help of the formula which is earlier we have seen, the new per unit reactance value of the generator is X per unit new is equals to J 0.625 per unit. Then we will proceed for the reactance of transformer T1. So for the transformer is concerned, for the voltages, either we will refer the voltages on the primary side, that is old and new, or onto the secondary side. Now as far as this transformer T1 is concerned, we are referring the voltages of the primary side, that is primary side old voltage is 11 kV and primary side new base voltage is 11 kV. Then MVA old is 25 MVA and MVA new is 50 MVA, and X per unit old of the transformer T1 is 0.15 per unit. So with the help of the formula, the new value of the reactance of the transformer T1 is J 0.3 per unit. Then the reactance of the transmission line, it is connected to the HT side of the transformer T1. Therefore it needs us to consider the HT, that is high tension side of the transformer, for the considering the voltage, that is base voltage. Base kV on the HT side of the transformer T1 is equals to base kV onto the LT side into HT voltage rating divided by LT voltage rating, that is primary side voltage, secondary side voltage by primary side voltage. So therefore 11 into 220 by 11, which is equals to 220 kV. So onto the transmission line we have a base value of the voltage 220 kV. Actual impedance of the transmission line is 100 ohms as it is indicated in the problem statement itself. So base impedance X base is equals to 220 square divided by before to calculate the value of reactance of the transmission line, it needs us to first calculate the base impedance, which is given by the formula kV base new square divided by MVA base new, which is equals to 220 square divided by 50, which is nothing but 6968 ohms. And now with the help of this base impedance value, we will calculate the per unit reactance of the transmission line. So per unit reactance of 100 ohm transmission line is equals to actual reactance in terms of ohms divided by the base value of the reactance. So for the 100 ohm transmission line, the value of per unit reactance is J 0.103 per unit, and for the 150 ohm transmission line, its value is J 0.154 per unit. Then we will proceed for the transformer T2. For transformer T2, the old voltage is 220 kV and the new base voltage is also a 220 kV. By referring the primary side of the transformer, as we have discussed, MVA old is 30 MVA, MVA new is 50 MVA. Therefore, with the help of formula to calculate the new value of the per unit reactance of transformer is J 0.25 per unit. Then we'll proceed for reactance of generator G2. It is connected to the LT side of the transformer T2. So therefore, its base voltage, that is new kV base of the generator G2 is 18 kV as per the formula. The new kV base voltage is 18 kV and its old voltage is also 18 kV. MVA old as given in the data of the problem statement 30 MVA and MVA base new is 50 MVA. So from the calculations we will get the value of reactance of generator G2 is J 0.4167 per unit. Then the next element, that is reactance of transformer T3. So as we have calculated for transformer T1 and T2, same like we have calculated the value for transformer T3 by considering kV base old 20 kV, kV base new 20 kV, MVA base old 20 MVA and MVA base new 50 MVA. X per unit old of transformer T3 is 0.15 per unit and its new value of the reactance based on new base values of MVA and kV is J 0.25 per unit. Then moving towards the next element, that is reactance of generator G3. So once again, it needs us to calculate the value of the voltage on the generator side. And as previously has been calculated with the help of same formula, for generator G3, the new base value of the voltage is 20 kV. Its old value is 20 kV. MVA old is 30 MVA. MVA new is 50 MVA. And its X per unit value of the generator G3 on the old base is 0.21 per unit. The new value of the per unit reactance of the generator G3 is J 0.35 per unit. So whatever values we got with respect to the new base, that is in terms of voltage as well in terms of kV, we can able to draw the reactance diagram of the given system by which we can utilize it for the further analysis. Thank you.